let's get into 2020 Bowman Draft, which dropped today. Bowman, if you're not familiar with the brand, they have 3 releases a year. You have your regular Bowman, which comes usually in a hobby, a jumbo form. And then you have your Bowman Chrome, which is mid-year, which typically is your Chrome with the 2 mini boxes and then your HTA, which is just 3 autos. And then at the end of the year, there's Bowman Draft. So it happens after the draft. It usually contains most of the draft picks from that year. And, they hold out a few. But Chrome usually is your international prospects. Bowman Draft usually is your, most of your first, second, and third rounders. And then 2021 Bowman, they usually hold out a big name. In this case, it's the guy from the Blue Jays, the catcher Martin, who's going to be held out for 2021 Bowman. But they have the first and second pick in this year's Bowman Draft, which is Heston Kjerstad, who is number 2 to the Orioles, and Spencer Torkelson, who's number 1 for the Tigers. And early rumblings from collectors is that the checklist is too big. It's just too many guys. It's too hard to hit Heston. It's too hard to hit Spencer because there's 110 guys. A lot of these same complaints were guys that said, not enough people on the checklist. They didn't include this person. Now that there's 110 guys on the checklist, it's too many. It's too hard to hit these certain guys. Now, my thing is, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to go over some data here, is that more guys mean more guys. There could be more better guys, right? More better guys.
More better.
Yes, which is bad English, but it gets the point across.
More better, more problems.
So, it was only 5 rounds this year, so they've got a lot of hitters. They got most of the first draft. It's just the problem is that it was the pandemic, and we didn't see these guys play, so we don't know who's good. It's literally a crapshoot. Nobody knows who's going to pan out. So, but that's also in another way, the exciting part of Bowman Draft is that you may be able to find the next Trout 30th overall pick that's $20 an auto now. Buy it, hold on to it, and then he becomes a superstar, and you're like, crazy. Stuff went up. What were your initial thoughts on breaking Bowman?
So, tons of color. I love it, and let me tell you why I love it, Doug.
Pull back the curtain.
What?
Pull back the curtain.
Pull back. Pull back. We don't have a curtain. Thinking about getting one. Thinking about getting one right here. I can just pull it back. But no, I'm going to pull it back right now. So with every Bowman release, what the issue is that you're always looking for those 1 or 2 guys, right? Mm-hmm. And every flagship Bowman, Bowman Chrome, there's 30 subjects generally, and the cream rises to the top. It's always the 2 or 3 guys that you're chasing. What I love about Bowman Draft is that there's 110 guys. We don't know who are going to be the guys who we're going to chase, but I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be more than 3 guys. In 3-4 years, we might be chasing 10 players out of the 110 that are auto subjects, which is going to make this product rise and get pretty scarce pretty quick. It's really not that expensive, all things considered, with the market on football and basketball and how those products skyrocket. It's really just about 20 to 30% above factory cost. And you got to remember, factory cost almost doubled this year. Mm-hmm. So the original factory wholesale cost almost doubled from the previous year. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it really is not that much higher than direct cost at the price it is now.
Yeah, and one thing to note, we opened, and I'm not saying this is going to be the case for every case, but we did 4 cases this morning, right? 4 jumbo cases. Each jumbo case has 24 autos. Every jumbo case had 8 base autos and 16 parallel or colored autos.
That's
insane.
That's insane. We pulled you pulled one red auto, and I pulled a red paper, pulled tons of golds. I can't remember pulling that much color. We'll go through all of our pre-sale in previous years and not pull the type of color that we pulled in 4 cases.
Yep.
Think about that.
Yep. It's pretty mind-blowing if you think about it. So unless we just had 4 really crazy cases, we only hit 1 Kjerstad and we did not hit Torkelson, but I'm thinking that Topps, because they knew they were going to have 110, they had less base autos signed. So that could be a couple things. Base autos could become more valuable because of it. being that there may be, I don't know, 300-400 of each, as opposed to maybe 1,000 or 2,000 of each, like they have done in the prior, in the past. I'm thinking, because of the pandemic, they probably sent these guys a little bit less than they normally would, because who knows, how did they even get them the cards? I'm sure they weren't witnessed at this point. They were probably sent to these players, so they probably sent each guy less to make sure that the guy signed them and returned them, and they included more guys to fulfill the amount of cases they needed.
I think they made the same amount of cases, but they have 110 subjects.
Right.
That's why you're getting so much more color, because there's so many more players that have paralleled autos. You're right. I don't know if they had them sit down and sign 500 base autos. It has to be less. But we do know that when they sat down and they signed 150 blues for sure, because they're stamped, and 50 golds. Right. Maybe a couple extra for replacements, damage cards, stuff like that. But number to 99, I think the greens are to 99, blacks are to
75.
75. So we know that.
And you have gold shimmer, you have orange shimmer,
and you also have the refractors that are numbered to 499, right?
Yep, they are numbered.
So 499. I would say base autos. There has to be more base autos than refractors. You would think?
Not necessarily.
I guess they can do whatever they want. I guess
they can do whatever they want. They could literally have the guy sign like 50 of them, and then he's like maybe the guy per cap. Like maybe the first overall pick's like Torkelson's like, I'm only going to sign this amount of autos, so then they got to probably cut the base down, the base autos. So
yeah, because they gotta.
Oh yeah, because that's the one they can adjust. They can't adjust.
They can't adjust. They can't adjust. They can't basically have. Gold parallels, but only have the players sign 25 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they could, and then you would have 25 redemptions out there, but they would have to fulfill those at some point.
Yeah.
So I wanted to respond to some of the people that are saying, man, I want a Torkelson and I want a Kjerstad because they're 1 and 2, right? They are the first and second overall pick, and now it's going to be hard for me to hit them because you guys put 110 guys in there. So I want to go back through 2000. This is courtesy of Cody here, put this list together. 2007 to 2016, we can look at the first and second overall pick. 2007, David Price, Mike Moustakas. Not terrible. Are those guys superstars? No. 2008, Tim Beckham.
Great.
Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro Alvarez, I think, was pretty good.
Decent. 2009.
Tim Beckham, did he ever make it?
He went back to the Orioles, I believe. I think he's playing on the Orioles, and he just had a rookie card last year. But, 9 years later, 10 years later.
The slow, so he took the slow train to the majors.
Slow train, yeah. He was probably AAA for a while. 2009, Steven Strasburg and Dustin Ackley. Now,
great.
Strasburg worked out. Do we talk about Dustin Ackley?
All the time.
2010, Bryce Harper. Okay, all right. That's a good one. And Jamison Tayan.
That's great, and that is good.
All
joking aside, that's pretty good.
That one's good with 2010, Bryce Harper. But, Bryce Harper's cards aren't worth as much as they used to be. 2011, Garrett Cole. That's a decent one. And Danny Holtzen.
So I'm looking at this. Could Seattle figure it out at some point?
No.
Did they figure it out?
No.
They did figure it out at some point, right?
They did not. No. Hopefully with Kyle Lewis and Julio Rodriguez.
And Kalenic.
And Kalenic.
But they didn't
draft him.
They didn't draft Kalenic.
2012, Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton. That's okay. Carlos Correa got the ship. Controversy aside. 2013, you'll love this one, Dan. Mark Appel, first overall pick.
Smart player.
Didn't pan out. Chris Bryant
never made it.
Panned out. Chris Bryant did pan out.
Was Mark Appel the first overall pick?
He was, and then the year before he was the 7th overall pick to the Pirates, I believe.
They didn't
sign.
They didn't come up with that long money.
No. 2014, Brady Aiken didn't pan out. Tyler Kolek didn't pan out.
And that Aiken, that's Astros, and Astros were like, except for the Mark Appel as well. They had 2 years, but they were hitting on every draft pick.
Yeah, it was spring.
And then 13 and 14, they didn't.
Dude, 14 was a bad year for every sport. One, and the best draft that year is Derek Carr for football.
And Jimmy G, second, third, first. And then 2015, Swanson, who got traded to the Braves, and then Bregman, so that's not horrible. But then 16, Moniak. Where's that guy at? I think he's still in the system, but at this point, 4 years later, if you're the first overall pick, you should be playing.
But in Moniak's defense, I think he was a high school kid.
Yeah.
So even if it was 4 years ago, he's still pretty young. He's still like probably 22, 23.
Yeah.
24.
Could be. And then Nick Senzel, which I guess he's up and he's had a couple good games. The point of all this is it's not like football and it's not like basketball.
Yeah.
Where you're usually the first or second, third, fourth guys are the top guys. Baseball is literally a crapshoot. These guys could be out of high school. They could be from a big college. They just can't hit a fastball. It just doesn't work for them. It's, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth round guys could pan out more than the first. So it's to say that, I have a harder chance of getting a Torkelson or a Kjerstad. These guys, that might be saving you from yourself at this point. You may get stuck with some guy, Casey Schmidt from the Giants. You might, that's my auto on box. Well, maybe Casey Schmidt becomes the guy that's, on the cover of boxes, and he's a stud. You don't know.
Basketball is not a sure thing either, though, because he had, off the top of my head, you look at like Anthony Bennett.
That's the one.
And
that's
then Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins hasn't lived up to the hype. He was the 14th top pick.
Wiggins is legit though. He's a starter.
He's gonna win a championship this year. For sure,
I mean, he may win how long is he gonna be on the Warriors for? 3 years? So he'll win 3.
Yeah. Unless they trade him for Harden.
Yep. And then Brain brings up the most recent, which was Royce Lewis, Hunter Green in 17, 18 Casey Mize, Joey Bart, 19 Rushman and Witt. And I'm still giving them some time because 17 still could be developing in the minors.
17, 18, 19, they're still pretty young.
Bart's up.
Yeah, and he's not great.
And Rushman could be up this year.
Could be.
Bobby
Witt maybe.
Bobby Witt could be up. Who was the Joey Bart year? Who was first? Joey Bart was 2.
That was Casey Mize.
Casey Mize he made his debut, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
I
got thumbs up. We got it.
Well, I know he's known for that minor league no hitter that was, or maybe it might have even been a perfect game that it was on ESPN. They were showing it, so he's got a little bit of buzz. But once again, he's a pitcher, and even though things have changed in this hobby with parallels, like people don't collect as many autos as they collect parallels now, still I think Bowman is the hitter product. You want a hitter more than a pitcher. I'm not saying you can't make money on a la Shane Bieber, some Clayton Kershaw, some of these guys, but it's very, very hard if you're prospecting a pitcher. Your chances are very, very slim. So a lot of people still stick with the hitters.
You got to be an all-time great pitcher.
And Hunter Green probably would have been up already if he didn't have Tommy John surgery. And I actually think he's fully recovered. He should be making his debut this coming season.
And that's the beauty of this too. And one thing Dan does more than I do is get in on some
mini camps.
Get in on some auctions. So people are going to be ripping Bowman Draft today. They're going to be. I didn't hit a Torkelson. They're going to try to recop some of their money, and they're going to put these autos on eBay at auction. And a lot of them are going to go for a lot less than they should because there's just going to be so much in the market at once. So it's definitely a great time to get in on some cheap autos. What I like to do is to pick guys that are on big teams if you can, like Yankees, Cubs, Mets, maybe, like some of these big market teams where if this guy does shine, then he's going to get the notoriety, right?
I'll tell you what I do. I'll pull it back again. Here's my my style of right after Bowman Draft, right after Bowman Chrome, right after Bowman. Any hitters that are basically 99-cent auction, and I look for late night auctions. Stuff that's ending at 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Usually get some pretty good deals. You're not going to be able to pick and choose exactly who you're getting, but just look for a position player. I try to stay away from pitchers. Not the pitchers are bad. It's just I don't see a huge return on your investment on a pitcher unless they turn into the next Kershaw or something like that. But that's what I do. And especially right after a release, it's flooded. There's
a lot of them.
There's everybody trying to recoup what they paid for the box, so they're just letting everything go. And a lot of them are dollar,
tip,
one day auctions at 99 cents.
Pro tip.
And it might even be easier this year. I'm not guaranteeing that by any stretch of the imagination, but the hobby is focused on football and basketball. If you haven't noticed, basketball prices are literally insane for 1920 right now.
Yes.
Everything's gone up. Everybody's anticipating the season. Everybody's getting the boxes. And then you have the potential of the products not coming out for basketball, the remaining ones, and even maybe the upcoming ones not coming out. So I think there's some box hoarding going on. Everybody's trying to get this 1920. So, which makes baseball way under the radar. We don't know what these guys could do. We don't know if they're going to play. We don't know if there's going to be minor league baseball. So there is not anybody searching for some of these guys unless it's the two big names. So,
well, there is one person. Me.
And then now the people that
and now
the
everybody-
5 people that
now-
listen.
And everybody that listens to
Now the 24 people who are in the chat right now, they're on board.
Yep.
you guys got the exclusive.
Actually, the 21, because I think all 3 of us we're probably on here as well.
21. So some of the late round draft picks to note is you got Freddie Freeman at the 78th pick in the 2007 draft. You got Pujols at the 402nd pick.
Excellent.
In the 99 draft, and Trout 25th pick. I mean 25th pick. I mean let's see who's a 25th pick this year. Let's hope he's not a pitcher, but like you know what I mean? That's like nobody. I remember that time. We
I know
just
where
got
you're
back
going. I
into
know
it.
where you're going with this, and
I'm not going to say that I lost money on a Trout card. I think you're thinking
no.
that, but-
You're gonna pull up the whatever pick,
25th
was.
pick.
25th pick, and you're gonna say it could be the next Mike Trout.
Well, they all could be the next Mike Trout at this point. I'm trying to pull that up as fast as I can here, but 25th pick was he's a pitcher.
And but what do they have in common? What do they have in common?
They got drafted the 25th pick.
Yeah, exactly.
But the A's, a guy from Turlock, he's out of high school, and he's son of a former big leaguer, Steve
6.5.
Soderstrom. Tyler Soderstrom could be the next Mike Trout. I don't know. You never know.
Mike Trout was a catcher,
Mike
and from
Trout was a
Turlock.
And now, can we go down to the 499th pick to see who's the next Pujols now? But yeah, it just that's the fun of Bowman. The guy, you may not know that you have a bust for like 4 or 5 years. You may not know you have a superstar for 4 to 5 years. So it's fun, and it's fun to check out those minor league stats and be like, hey, I got this superfractor of this guy, or I got this red of this guy. Man, he just hit 4 home runs. He's anticipating a call up to the bigs. Like, it's fun. It's like a dollar stock that takes forever to go up, unlike all the other sports pretty much. So
Yeah, and you can't put too much stock in when a player gets their first call up, because Trout actually got called up and then got sent back down.
yep.
It wasn't like he came up and he just was Mike Trout, the all-star MVP every year. He struggled a little bit beginning his career. And you see that with Joe Adell right now. We were talking about Joe Adell and where his prices are. They've fallen about half of where they were about 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yep.
Joe Adell is I think Joe Adell right now is a good buy. If you are getting him, say, if his base auto, which his base autos were short printed, really tough to hit Joe Adell autos. If you can get them for $500, they were. I bought them. I was buying it for like $1,200 at the peak.
Well, loser.
Well, I don't. No pun intended. I don't hit home runs every time.
Yeah. You're like Vegas Dave. You only shout your winners.
Coming.
Pretty much.
That's it. Ryan Mountcastle, winner.
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 That was a good one. We'll see how
Winner.
he pans out.